Hello and welcome to Zondell, Lands of Discordance, a Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign. We have a few of our players here again, and we're going to pick up where we had left off last. The party having returned from the house on Griffin Hill, mansion bot, Golem, and returning to find Benevolence waking out of their reverie chasing butterflies, having just seen Dantalion appear to pull Count Strahd's soul out of Strahd the Alchemist before vanishing. And at the same time, Marrow, having seen through one of the rifts what appeared to be the owner of a fragment of their soul pains, the dismembered lord, who fiddled with arcane implements and commanded a legion of their Marrow to march out through the rift toward the butte. And that is where we return. Benevolence. As you fill everyone in, you notice Dobbs is not present. And I want you to make a religion check.
Religion check?
Yes.
I should win these. Give me 2 seconds, because apparently my dice fell on the ground. If you hear random breathing, I'm trying to get it.
That counts as an autofill, bro. Sorry.
My left nut? No. Hold on.
You act like you have another one.
Hey, man.
I
That's a
should
12.
pass
That's a 12. I think it's a 12, unless I can't spell. I mean, can't count, but it looks like a 12. It smells like a 12.
You have a moment as Dantalion had pulled the soul of Count Strahd out of Strahd the Alchemist's body, where, as Dantalion vanished, there had been a brief glimpse, an after image of the place that the pact devil had disappeared to. A place that vaguely mirrored Evan Peak, but far more foreboding. A shrouded mist and burning skies. Shadows of ancient structures and mountain ridges, casting a cloak of darkness over a valley, despite the fires that raged above. There you saw figures walking apathetically, faces without emotion, wisps of other figures, terrified and soundlessly begging for help, screaming, weeping, and still other figures, red-skinned and black shadow, mixed, intertwined. Dantalion vanished into this place. And you're not entirely certain what it could be. You do know of a little of Strahd's history, is speaking of Barovia and what it had been before the Shattering, and how Avereb had been different when it came through into the Frostheart. Also recall stories of the Nine Hells and the Plains of Dread, the Shadowfell, and other sinister places. If such places did truly exist, it is very likely that some of them might have looked like the place that Dantalion took Strahd's soul.
So let me get this straight. Dantalion didn't give Strahd his soul back, so Strahd is still like weakened. Correct.
Strahd the Alchemist's body lays before everyone, but Count Strahd's body was nowhere to be found, and you saw Count Strahd's soul pulled out of Strahd the Alchemist's unconscious form.
So Dantalion killed Lord Strahd. Got it. At least that's my deduction. It's my professional deduction. Well, this is awkward. So one, hey guys, where's Dobbs?
Who?
Are Syl and Finnick still in the house?
Yeah, how much time has elapsed? Like, is this the new day, or is this before we took the long rest?
This would be just after the party has finished their looting and returned to where Strahd the Alchemist, Dantalion, and Benevolence had been.
Gotcha.
Hey guys, where's Dobbs? Is he hiding? Is he waiting for me? Are you guys part of some sick joke? Hey Syl, why are you laughing like
She's
that?
gonna pull out his head from her bag.
Again, Micah, how close am I to him? And one, and two, no, hold on. I'm a reasonable person. I forgot. He's utterly nice. Be like, why, Syl, why do you have Dobbs's head like
He
that?
interfered with the rescue mission and tried to kill me, so I killed him first.
Well, I mean, I know he was trying to push it off the mountain, but you killed him?
He threw me off the butte
I seen it, everything.
twice.
I seen that.
The first time was understandable. The second time was unacceptable. And he felt the
So-
same way after I attacked him.
While she's talking, I just walk up to her, like while she's talking, and I push her really hard into the wall that we're by, because I'm assuming we're in a room.
No,
That
we're
has a
out
wall.
on the butte.
All right, so I push her to the ground to make her like fall.
Athletics check.
first an attack.
Okay.
Well, shoves don't require an attack. It's just a straight athletics check.
I understand that, but
But I have to first hit her if she dodges it. Because she's fast.
Darwin's going to use a cutting words on that, basically telling Benevolence to knock it off. Now's not the time.
17?
You don't even need the cutter birds, bro. She just slides to the left.
17?
Miss.
You misunderstand how high the AC is of Sil.
No, I know how high it is. Straight off of her dexterity.
you may now make a contested athletics.
24.
Oh. Well, let's see if the strength will help. Wham! You said you rolled a 24?
Yeah.
She too has a... Wait, 14 plus 7, that's
21.
21. Damn!
There's a moment as Syl dodges the first. A hint of a feint. Something picked up during a bit of training with Dobbs among these past few days and weeks. And then Soliloquy, having dealt with Benevolence for far longer than Dobbs, surprised for a moment to find themselves knocked back onto their ass.
I just get like down by her face and I whisper in her ear. So, I know he was a dick. And I hated him, but he was my master. But I just want you to know, if you kill anyone else who matters anything to me, I'll make sure your soul meets all of my dead ancestors along with me, if I must. Okay? Alright, so are you gonna train me now, or like what, since he's gone? And by the way, Fennec, it is so good to see you again. Like, oh my god, and I just start walking off like nothing happened. And it's been so good to see you again, darling. You look wonderful. I'm glad you're not dead. I'm glad you're not dead.
Hello, darling. No, and I got some pretties. It's in my bag.
Oh, you must show me.
Finnick pulls out her
Syl's gonna get
slippers
up.
and shows her slippers.
And she's gonna go over to Benevolence and hand him a mask that she picked up as a sign of good faith.
Finnick steps in front of Syl and is like, no. Nope. Put that back in your bag.
Maybe he can identify it.
Nope.
Syl, are you trying to kill me? Oh, hold on. Syl, are you trying to kill me?
Oh, this is like a peace offering.
Fennec, what is this?
I don't know, but I watched Syl struggle with that thing when she picked it up, so don't take it.
It's trying to dupe me again. I know I'm a dummy sometimes, but I swear, you must give me more credit than that. Syl, I don't trust you. I never really did. I thought maybe we'd have something going, but I don't trust you. But I guess you don't care. I guess you don't care. I guess the only thing you can ever do well in life is betray those that care for you, huh?
Oh!
And I just walk away.
Umbra's like, ha! And then goes away. Goes back to Whitland now. And Soliloquy is just, there being sad, being told the truth.
When you're ready to make amends, Sil, and maybe give a shit about someone else's life besides yours, you can let me know. Now, Fennec, what is this that you wanted to show me again before we were rudely interrupted by, someone not worth my time?
Finnick pulls her pink and purple shoes out of her bag and shows them to...
By Jove! That is quite exquisite.
Aren't they, darling? They're just gorgeous.
Who did you steal these from?
That house back there.
Oh, okay. I remember one part in my life, I would never have been okay with someone stealing. How the mighty have fallen.
It's not like anyone's living there anymore.
There was a woman in green who was trapped underneath it.
Who was that talking?
That was a joke. I was saying
okay.
She got it from a house. There's a woman in green trapped underneath it.
Oh, okay. No. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if that was one of, if we had a character with us that I just, forgot about. Because...
No, I wonder if I put them on, if I can say no place like home.
The voice of God. The voice of God. Okay. I know the trader's still alive. Of course, my friend Fennec. And by Jove! Well, hello. And I forgot his name again. I swear, I always forget his... Darwin, my good friend. Hey, Darwin, real quick, did you find anything off those dead bodies? I got distracted by some apparent butterfly. And by the way, Fennec, I have some beautiful butterflies to show you afterwards.
I'd love to see them.
I will point out that implies that I was not suffering from a sucking chest wound long enough to search those bodies. So no, I did not find anything. I'm also really fascinated with this rift that I've just seen someone who looks faintly familiar organizing an army and appears to be coming right for us. That's also a quite interesting thing I've noticed.
I mean, I guess it's go time then, gentlemen. Or are we leaving? Can someone dimension door us out of here, or...?
Everybody make a perception check.
Who was it that got the information that
21.
what's
for,
his shit went through the
Miranda.
portal?
That who went through which portal?
Who was it that got the information that Strahd went through that frozen portal?
Many of you were able to see the bats go through. You just
Right,
didn't
but...
at the time realize what it was.
Right, but somebody got the actual information from Dantalion that said that it was most likely Strahd.
Well, Dantalion didn't say that was what was most likely
Was that
Strahd, just
Umber?
that Strahd himself, part of him was there before them, and part of him was back in the Frostheart. So he didn't say how he got there.
Yeah, it was Who knows?
Okay. Did you say perception?
Yes.
24 for both.
$20.
So, you all hear as there is the sound of metal striking stone, reverberating for a moment, before the sound of marching boots. As you see on the edge of the rift, a long ramp leading down from it, hovering in the air, to the butte, and 3 by 3 Marrow soldiers marching down toward you all.
We really need to get out of here, but
that ramp weighs small enough so I can use a 7th level catapult to launch it out from underneath them.
1 second. What is...
I know it's a lot to hope for, but if it's possible, that'd be really funny.
I'm just double checking to see if the weight goes up as well as the damage. I don't believe it does. I'm pretty sure it's just the damage increases. And the net just started making everybody robots for a second.
I think it's by 10 pounds.
Increases by 5 pounds per level. And you said 7th? That'd be 35 pounds. One moment.
Because the thing is technically speaking, as long as it's under the weight limit, it can be
Okay, I missed pretty much all that except something about if under the weight limit, because the net decided to turn everybody into robots for a second there.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that as long as it's under the weight limit, it should be able to be catapulted, just because it's not being carried or worn.
True. I was just trying to see in terms of whether or not it would be close to that weight limit or if it would exceed it. If it were made with modern materials, aluminum, for example, then I would say it would just barely be under the limit. However, seeing as it is made out of steel instead, no, the weight would put it over the limit on that.
Crap, okay. So secondary question, do you think move Earth directly underneath the point where that ramp connected would be enough to cause the ramp to just kind of drop off the edge of the butte? Or like how far is the contact point in of the ramp to the butte from the edge of Basically, I'm seeing if I can fuck with the ramp.
Well, you can affect up to a 40-foot square. You can raise or lower an elevation by 20 feet. So you could definitely use Move Earth for that.
So they're coming out of a portal via a ramp?
The portal is in the air. They're marching down the ramp. 3 by 3.
So using Move Earth would... So if I did move Earth just in that area where the ramp connected and moved it down, would that be enough for the ramp to not have any points of contact and just swing straight vertical?
You can certainly try.
Alright, well, I'm certainly going to try. Darwin just kind of looks up, he's like, I am dealing with this right now. The mad genius is stepping in, apparently. Emphasis on mad.
So, as you instantaneously cause the rock itself to just drop off, the ramp itself has no time to be slid forward further and adjust, if even the length is long enough for such a feat. Instead, it pivots on the edge of the rift itself, connecting wherever it is on the other side to the stone pathway that it is laid across, swinging, smacking the top part of the rift for a moment with nothing there other than the rift to keep it from swinging further and it essentially wraps underneath the underside of the rift, dropping 9 Marrow, shouting and screaming to their deaths as the ramp falls behind them. The rift still remains open. You can see from the swing several Marrow had been knocked back, and a few battered from the quickly smacking steel. The helms that they wear and the veils masking their eyes, but you can see this grim, aggressive determination in their posture, this interest, curiosity, and satisfaction of a worthy challenge.
Caleb, come in, Caleb. Caleb, come in, Caleb.
One second, I'm getting a call on the radio, evidently.
How many of them are on the butte?
None presently, aside from the
Oh,
corpses
they were
already.
on the ramp, and then
They were on the ramp, and he suddenly made the ramp drop. And because it had nothing to anchor it, to keep it from flipping over, with most of the weight sticking out of the rift, it curved around it like it was a big hoop. And the top of the rift was not substantial, so it just slipped right through.
Are there any rifts nearby that we could possibly go into that don't seem like would instantly kill us?
Go ahead and make a
Probably
perception
the
check.
freezing one.
All of us, or who?
Well, you're specifically looking right now, so I would say you to start with.
So that's 27 for Umbra and 24 for Syl.
There are several rifts that are close to ground level. The majority of the larger ones are high enough that you imagine they were created at the moment that the house was having its difficulty for the sake of the house being able to rush into it, or for Strahd the Alchemist to leap from the mansion into one of the rifts, though a few of them did scatter and come close to the butte. None are quite on it at present, but some you figure you could either jump them or perhaps have somebody carry a few people flying and toss them in as they return to go and grab others.
What do the rifts look like?
There are rifts to multiple different places. There are rifts that seem to lead back to Deathhold, to the Stormhold, to the Barrows. There's a rift to a underwater cave where you can see that there's just darkness and sound of water lapping against stone. Little dots of flickering small candles about to sputter out. There's one that appears to be this place that seems to be smoking out some fire in a forest that is blazing. Another that seems to lead to a mixture of ancient ruins and technology, skyscrapers that Umbra might recognize in terms of architectural similarities, not the same, but more modern time than many of the others would seem to recognize. And there are others still that do not look to be safe places, place where there is no stars, no light of any kind, and yet this dreaded sensation looking at them. A place that is filled with magma, a river where a creature is attempting to cross it and is being skeletonized along the way. A bubbling pit of molten alloy that constructs are being dropped into, broken and battered, looking like they have been permanently retired from their duties.
Umbra's gonna pick up Linnell and fly towards the skyscraper portal and advise everyone to follow her.
You said you had to fly though, right? Which means that I need someone to help me, right?
Is that one of the portals that someone needs to fly to? She's just flying because that's easier for her.
It's one that somebody could leap to. However, it does appear to be more of a elevated view.
Oh, so if we go through it, we could fall down.
At the bottom too. Yeah, Darwin doesn't have fly. All he's got is dimension door, and
Don't
I
you
don't
have a
even know if
ring
you
of
can-
feather fall? You'll be okay.
no, I have boots of striding.
Where are they trying to go?
A rift with skyscrapers and ancient ruins.
Why do we want to go there?
It looks like the least hostile place for now.
Miranda will fly up and peek through.
Okay.
I don't know why Umber can't do that.
Well, she's taking the nail over there. If the nail wants to.
Sounded like you're kidnapping him.
Maybe.
Miranda and Umbra, as you are moving toward the rift, you can see blazing across the sky a burning, smoking form of some machinery, plunging, being fired at by some sort of metal ship in the sky. And the path of this falling object shifts, curving straight for the rift that you are looking at from the other side.
That looks safe.
That wasn't there a second ago. So, nix on that portal. Next.
Check out the cold one where the bats went through.
Wow, that's the frost heart. We don't want to go there. That's where a whole bunch of other evil shit's there.
Are you saying we abandoned our quest to bring back all this stuff?
whatever keeps us alive, yeah?
As you
We
are
need to get stronger.
discussing this and flying away from the portal, there's a sound of a boom in the air, a plume of smoke and fire puffing out as part of the burning wreckage separates from the rest, falling back and impacting into the larger chasing machinery. There's multiple different explosions and smoke clouds that burst on its surface, enveloping it. And then, as the smoke and fire starts to clear, it barely looks like it's taken damage as it continues its pursuit. There is the sound of screaming metal as this vehicle plummets through the rift and impacts into part of the butte, skidding along its surface with loud scraping and sparks, before coming to a teetering position at the opposite end of the butte, gouging a scar into the rock.
Thank you.
Yikes, now what the hell comes out of that thing?
Right? More friends! Is that other ship still coming through the portal, or is it staying
It is
in?
still pursuing, from what you can see, and there is more bursts of metal and fire being fired at its position where it had been. It does not appear at present that the pursuing vessel has a angle to hit it from where it had skidded after impact.
So it's firing into the rift to hit the ship. that
It's trying to, yes. It does not have the proper angle for it at present.
crashed.
I don't like that laugh. Not one bit.
She's going to cast. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me see if I can. Dimension door. You teleport yourself. Ah, poop. Teleport yourself. Damn it, never mind. I had wanted to make like a portal in front of the rift and direct it into the portal with the army, so that when the shot comes through the portal, it goes into that rift.
Well, I mean, technically, if you went in there, because we could walk through your dimension door. So therefore, all you got to do is go to kind of like get in the way of them, I guess, and you put it up, and then you just walk away, and then let it walk through. Makes sense.
She
Can
can
you
only
not?
do it once, though.
I mean, because I'm thinking if you can use it and we can walk through it, right? That means other things can walk through it. So all
No.
you got.
She can't do that with Dimension Door. That's Arcane Gate.
Dimension
Or
doors, you grab
actual
somebody and you
gate.
nightcrawler them.
Yeah.
Because unlike older editions, it's not an actual door. It's just grabbing somebody.
Oh, so you just teleport. So can you like go up to him, dimension door, and then run? No.
It's instant transmission, essentially. From Dragon's.
Okay.
Yep. Oh man, I wish I had Arcane Gate.
Oh, so if you go with whatever you were just talking about, then you're stuck there.
Right.
Oh, yeah, don't do that.
I mean, you can always again. Like,
I was about to say, wait, we can what?
hell, but the thing is like, what you technically could do is, I mean, it depends on the kind of projectile that just got fired. But if you were to be technical, what you could do is Dimension Door, catch the projectile, as in just touch it for a brief moment, like on the top, and then Dimension Door again in the orientation you need in order so that as the shot leaves
Please
your
do
grasp,
Hell no. One.
Sadly,
Once
the
you can only
Nomad
do
does
it
not have that
once.
in its specifics. But I think that definitely could be a subclass version of it if it was homebrewed. Just was double checking that real quick because I was like, I know that monks can catch projectiles, but that seems like something that they could have done with the Nomad.
I mean, it's a large enough object.
Well, I
it's
mean,
technically not catching the projectile as much as it's doing like the Kung Fu Panda, like slightly like adjusting the momentum enough of it as it goes past, so that you're.
He's not catching it. He's equipping it.
You're not stopping it. He's equipping it.
yes,
No,
he is
no, it's redirection.
instantly gaining temporary improvised proficiency.
It's temporarily. It's just readjusting it. That's all it is.
But that's assuming the projectile is
It's
solid.
an
It could be
unproficient
plasma.
weapon. He is just equipping. He stands on it. He picks it up. He puts it in his thing. Then he dimension doors and he lets go.
Well, I mean,
Well, that
that's
was
why.
giving it-
Well, wait, that's why you equipped on your anti-plasma gloves to make sure that in
It's
case
plasma.
it could be, but you just make sure to put on gloves and then you'll be alright. You know?
I hate to say it, but I don't think there's anything anti-plasma.
Shut up.
Plasma's
I'm working here. I'm working here.
I know,
I'm working
trying
here.
to help, but
I'm clocked in right now. I'm working overtime. Hold on.
Actually, if you had like magnetic gloves, you'd be able to control the flow of the plasma.
Oh, we're gonna use actual like science here. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
or
Please not
technically
now.
Speaking, if you just put enough water on it, the plasma will cool down.
Hey,
Yes.
I'm just letting you know right now. My brain is at like 30% capacity. Do not do that, because I will be here and forget my own name. Don't do that. Not today. He said technically don't add actual science to this. For the love
Anyway,
of God.
so that idea
Here's
is out
not
the
actual
window.
Science. Put enough
Alright.
water on the shot and it'll cool down and then it won't buddy.
It'll
Pour
just
some
be
water
a
on that bitch.
gas.
Yeah, it'd just be a gas.
Oh, wow, that's
It
a
wouldn't be
fun
plasma
guy.
anymore.
Imagine if you found a
Pour
mushroom.
enough water
in
on
this.
it, it'd become a water. Become a liquid. It's like a water gun, but less fun.
Water gun. Oh man.
So what's the other portal besides the snowy, wintry one? Let's check out that one.
You want to examine the underwater cave that has sputtering candles?
Oh hell no! That's a big no. No.
Oh, he said hell no. That's a big no.
That one actually
No.
comes
The
out.
forest that is burning on fire?
That one looks slightly more hospitable, yes.
Deathhold with the
Legitimately, that one might be decently hospitable.
tree bark
just because you
people
Can put out
moving around in the jungle.
That's where Umbra was spending the last couple of months of her life. That turned into hundreds of years because of the time difference. She's used to Deathhold.
Wait, that place is actually called Deathhole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Time flows differently, and it is where curses are studied to see about lifting them.
Oh, the name implies it's a much worse place than it sounds.
Oh, it is.
But if we
People
go
get
there, though,
locked in there and
yeah.
have to lift their curse before they can leave to ensure it is not spread.
And also, if we go
Oh.
there, a day there is almost a year in Winterhold.
Frosthold.
So who
Oh,
knows?
Frostheart.
We can't do
Frostheart,
that.
yeah. So if we don't know how long
Yeah, it was
That
about
would give
283 days
alchemists
when they'd been
draw.
there for a little over a day.
A day and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd give Alchemist Strahd plenty of time to do whatever he wants to do in the Frost Heart.
I mean, you could go back to the Stormhold and see how your buddy the Bookworm, the Beholder,
Oh, God
or
damn it!
the
Hell no. We didn't even do the mission he wanted us to
bit,
do.
the bit of Acererak, that still exists,
Yeah.
it might be. How they're doing.
Zilla
Check in
Queen.
on them.
We got a
Another
lot of
voice
fucking
in her
missions
head.
to do.
Go back to the Barrows and deal with how it's getting overrun by
Undead.
new parasitic undead.
Let's go
Hey,
to the Barrows.
wait a
The
minute,
Barrows is fine.
Where did the meteor storm hit?
The chunk of metal impacted into the butte and scraped along it. And
No. There was a meteor storm and we escaped it.
Oh,
Where
you
was
mean
that?
in the Barrows?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was in Shadehaven,
Shadehaven. There we
the
go.
capital of the
Winter Perry.
Winter Perry Court.
What I hear is our group is a bunch of quitters that keeps running away from missions.
Yeah, no, that's what it's sounding like right now.
Sounds like it smells like bitches.
I mean,
We're
they're
not
trying to run
strong
away from the
enough.
Frostheart too.
No. We're not strong enough while we're level 15. No, there's something wrong. It has to be the
Right,
monsters we're fighting. It has to be we're a
left-
bunch of bitches, or it's the gods really don't like us, so they put us on hard mode, and they're like, well, these
It's all
five.
three of those.
We
All
left
three of those.
Shadehaven
Plus, we're
at
quitters.
level
The
8.
only reason why we're facing hardship is because we're quitters. If we stop being quitters, we'll stop facing
Hey,
hardship.
speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
Well, actually, I'm
We-
not because I just joined the group. I haven't quit on anything yet.
I mean, technically, even though I've been here in the group, I've been facing butterflies since 1574. So, like, I mean, what's good? And I have a reason to be a quitter. I ain't had armor. I don't even think I have armor. I think it's
No.
all gargoyle armor. Like,
Yep.
so, yeah.
So,
All I've got
As-
is basic leather.
as you are all debating possibilities of these rifts that have thus far been looked at,
All I know is I'm not on the butte when that missile hits it.
there is a scraping, grinding of metal and a hissing sound as part of the teetering portion of a damaged ship of some kind opens up and it shifts a bit closer toward the edge as if it's leaning toward teetering off before there's a sound of boots on grating heading toward the back, and it teeters back.
Gosh.
Finnick is most definitely on her broom, waiting for a decision and thinking about where we should go.
Now the question is,
Alright.
are they shooting at this person because... The thing I'm wondering is that this ship... Because the issue is that if someone comes out and they're not friendly, I guarantee they're going to be able to follow us. But the issue is if they are friendly, then we're going to start getting shot at by that ship.
Sounds like a problem we'll face in the future. We need to make a decision now, and numbers flying towards the Barrows. And asking if Linnell wants to go along with her. Because there's a portal system in the Barrows that can take us to wherever we need to go for a fee. And she knows the Barrows pretty well, and so does Sil.
The last question is there anything useful in that ship? That we kind of ignored the fact that it was flying. That probably has something.
Yeah, go into the ship that's about to fall over, bro. That has possibly
wait,
hundreds
I've
of
got Blue
enemies
Bird.
inside of it.
Would that would that be able to help?
You could teeter it off.
I'm not trying to do that just yet.
is that missile away?
Well, it's not so much just a missile that was being fired. There's also bursts of fire and metal, more akin to tracer rounds, fire balls, and railgun fire, in terms of sci-fi terminology. To Miranda, with the level of technology, she might just think that it's been like enchanted to sling metal quickly.
Umbra knows what it is. I could make one, in theory.
Okay. Does Umbra mention the portals to Linnea, as far as the Barrows?
Oh yeah, she'll say that there's one that heads to the Barrows, which is a...
No, I mean, because you mentioned out of character as far as that in the Barrows there's portals elsewhere.
Yeah, she's gonna mention that to Linnell. Like, we could go to the Barrows, which would take us...
Well, from when Yllenda and the others got back from the Barrows, they kind of sort of told us that Shadehaven had been devastated by a massive bunch of flaming rocks hurled down from the sky. So I'm not entirely certain if those will be there, depending on when the rift puts us. And it's fairly overrun with cultists and these spooky things that kill you and then make you walk again.
And there's always the summer court capital we could try to go to.
That's true, I suppose.
And then there's the other portal that that ship came out of. It looks like my old home world. And I kind of do want to go back, and I kind of don't. Because if we go there, there's no telling if we can come back.
As you are discussing and debating this, there is a glow coming from the rift that the ramp had extended out of before. And there is a metal disc that holds 6 Marrow soldiers on it, standing on the circumference of one ring with a larger ring extended beyond it that is floating out, runes etched all over it, that is slowly lowering itself down.
How big is it?
It appears to be about 25 by 25 feet.
I fireball the disc.
Heat metal. Heat metal.
Boom.
I cast fuck you.
I mean, they are wearing armor if you wish to do that. And,
Well, no, because if the disc is metal, just make whatever they're trying to stand on really, really hot.
Well,
Which, I mean, the pact is going to do that anyways. But...
no, I'm trying to destroy the disc and or force them out. I'm like, I know it doesn't technically displace them, but...
well, objects do have AC as well, so you could just utterly destroy the disc. In which case it's... Yahoo!
Again, for the second time.
I mean, I don't have to hit the AC with a fireball.
Right, but the... well, actually, hang on. Then it wouldn't be a matter of hitting it. It would be a matter of...
doing doing enough damage to it.
Doing enough damage to it. The only thing is that the disc can't make a dexterity saving throw, whereas the Marrow can. So they might be fine, despite the fact that the disc is burning. D&D, folks. Little edge cases everywhere. Some of the design issues come through. Alright, so we have a bit 6 of them. And what's the DC that you have?
21.
Not a one of them.
Okay. 12, 15, 20, 30.
Okay.
That'll be my daily. Does the disc look like it's been structurally damaged yet?
Well, first, the fireball blazes through the air, arcing toward where they are. Some looking like they're preparing to react, considering whether or not to leap off or not, but not quick enough, as the fire catches on them even before it hits into the stone disc. And then as it lands, there's a loud crack as the stone shatters, and the different glyphs that are keeping it aloft and moved by the tilting of their weight flicker out, and a few of the stones start just chunks raising up into the air and drifting off toward the stratosphere, while the majority just fall and burning, screaming, and dying before they get anywhere near the ground. Marrow collapse.
So that makes 15 Marrow off the edge of the butte now? Not including the ones that were from earlier, the one from the mounted beasts. Oh, this is great. Let's keep going. Let's go for a high score.
I think we need to hurry this decision along, people.
Barrows? Umbro raises all 4 of her, 2 of her arms for the barrows. Silicui is
be honest,
not
I don't know,
looking to go to the barrows.
I thought you said you recognized the place with the real tall buildings over there.
Yeah, but if we go there, there's a possibility of us not being able to leave there and come back over to the Frost Heart.
A possibility or a guarantee?
A 99.9% guarantee.
Fuck.
How did you get over here?
Yeah, good point.
The
How'd you
gods.
go? Oh.
The gods.
So they're the .01?
I don't think...
They're the .01.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the gods had anything to do with the ship down there getting here.
Who's to say? So you want to go to my home world, possibly? It's not a very nice place, especially if you're not a human.
Really, your wonderful cheering personality told us that it would totally be such a nice place.
I hate to say it, but every single place we've been to so far has some sort of racial bigotry with something or other.
Ah, it seems like another realm I know.
All of them?
Uncle's like pointed to her wing. He's like, "What part of this makes me human?"
Be like, I mean, obviously I'm not human. What am I gonna do? Pass off as a guy that has a calcifying disease?
I mean, that is a thing that exists, you know.
Yeah, I think it's called petrifying, and I think I'd be dead.
There's been weirder things.
Yeah, there are weirder things.
Yes.
If they try to take you as a
Really
trophy,
I
we'll
just look at-
defend you.
I just look at Syl and her forearms. Weird thing.
And her horns and her little bitty tail.
You're making this worse. And then I look at her again, knowing about and we look at each other and
Her
knowing.
front tail.
I was about to say, knowing that she at one point was a man. Or is a man. Yes.
Has male
Well,
genitalia.
we could go back to
Yeah.
the Frostheart, let them know that Strahd is not the real Strahd, finish our quest to get to Yllenda and save her, and bring back the Phoenix things.
But only the original Strahd was going to know what was going to do with those.
No, I'm pretty sure he shared a bit of information with us.
Strahd sharing anything?
Archmage,
Like information?
Well,
The Archmage had all the information we needed. All we need to do is talk to him.
But he's not at the castle. They all moved somewhere else.
Well, yeah, we know where they went. We were part of that meeting, lad.
As you are further debating this, more of the shots coming out of that rift start moving further and further forward along the gouge in the butte. And there's a sound of metal striking into and affixing to rock. The sound of something fabric being rubbed against metal. And there is a figure who has just struck a python from some device into the butte and wrapped it around part of the opening of this hatch.
Fuck it. Let's go to the Frost Heart. Let's go to the Frost Heart. You know what? If we die, we're gonna die knowing I was right.
Oh, yes, 'cause we all just want you to be right. I agree, though. We just need to make a move.
Moving to the Frost
What
Heart.
does this dog figure look like?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What does the figure look like? If you can see him. Or whoever it is. I'm sorry, I'm kind of chewing something because I haven't eaten all day. I'm sorry.
The figure
Such a
looks
star.
metallic, thin, skeletal in design, glowing green eyes.
It's the Terminator. It's time to go.
Terminator, yeah. It's the T-1000. That's
they had red eyes. This one's green. Green means good. Money.
it could be the T-2000.
Yeah, Green
I don't
means
know.
hands.
Okay.
Green means go for hands. He's about to give us good hands.
Real quick, before we go too far. This is the part where I take over. So, as the figure is kind of tying things down, the figure kind of stands up and looks over towards the group. Green eyes just kind of staring for a moment before looking inside the ship and calling out to another unseen individual. The robot voice, albeit definitely terrifying, sounding more like metal grating against metal to somehow form a coherent voice, very much like a very old smoker might sound, perhaps. Possibly due to some damage, we don't know. Calls out for an individual named Lil Heavily. And rushing out from the inside would be a very rather short human, dressed up in what you'd understand to be normal clothes compared to what you'd expect of futuristic people from that planet. And
Miranda, fireball. Fireball, Miranda. Fireball.
Oh,
They haven't
that
been
would be a bad
hostile
idea.
yet.
Sorry, you can continue. It was a joke.
Yeah, no, you're good.
She's loading her gun.
So, the smaller of the two individuals, who's a human female with some lovely blonde hair, rushes out of the vehicle, clutching at just a pack and some of the. Rushes out of the vehicle, essentially escaping it, and once she is out, the large metal being that you'd know as a Necron, if you happen to have that type of knowledge. But if you don't, it just looks like a large metal skeleton of some sort. Approximately about 8 feet tall, would step back after having tied down the ship as best as he can, and would raise a shield from behind his back, essentially aiming it at the direction of the shots, providing cover as he essentially went with the shorter human to get out of the way of the incoming shots.
So we go into the frost art.
Can you make that contraption work?
You talking
who's
to
that
Umbra?
words?
I'm just kind of looking at it. Let's see. I think I can. Yeah, thaumaturgy, booming voice. Can you make that contraption work?
The Necron would look over in the direction of Venus, and its eyes would kind of flash between a couple of colors before responding. Status unavailable. Critical damage received. Recommendation: escape.
No shit! No, there's no shit here. You were correct.
Indeed, I do not detect any fecal matter. Indeed,
Undetected. Bodily functions not available.
bodily function not available. Please insert
Oh,
upgrade.
God. I knew I wasn't going to miss you. Hi, Buster.
That is not Buster.
Just-
It is Buster but skeleton. Spooky Buster.
Hi, ugly Buster.
Boy, he's quite charming once you get to know him.
So is my left
Charming
rocky
doesn't
testicle.
mean anything in terms of physical features.
It really doesn't. You could be ugly as hell and still be charming.
At least not since 2E.
Well, I say that, but he's also got a very, very low charisma score, so it doesn't matter.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Itself.
When Buster attacked himself.
Finnick just kind of stares up and is like, "Who are these guys?"
But essentially, the taller metal skeleton individual would be rushing along, as you'd imagine a bulky metal skeleton of 8 feet to do. With the shield raised up, simply looking towards the group, saying, there.
I can't understand that.
I was about to say good.
No, I know. I had a stroke because I was reading something as I was trying to talk. Just basically fucking died. But so. Why am I failing over the fucking words? Darwin. Not Darwin. The Necron. I'm also getting thrown off by that. There we go. Okay. So, the Necron would end up doing to move along. Would simply say, current situation is unfavorable. Would recommend other world. Pick another rift, if you may.
Hands wide open, pointing at all the rifts. Pick a color.
Alright. The Necron looks in between several of the portals and pulls to the coldest and goes that direction. Go.
Well, that's 2 for the Frost Heart.
Yeah, Umbra wants to go. Phil will go.
Fennec, are we going there?
You don't break when you get cold, do you, love?
I thrive in. I don't really know. I
You
mean,
were there.
I was there before, but I never noticed if maybe some pieces kind of snapped off of me. You know, when you're like me, you just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. You know. So, if you want to go, let's go. There's like some super cool people there, except this one really, really bad robot. I'll fight him. But then other than that, there's some pretty cool people there. And like, yeah, let's go.
Well, it's not like we should stay here. It's a shit show here.
I mean, we could stay here and get all of the loot that they're not gonna get. Huh?
You're also going to get all of those nasty baddies that keep trying to come here too. So, no, thank you, darling.
To the Frost Heart.
Micah,
Yes.
I fuck off and loot one of the armors and weapons from one of those guys that died. Fell. I'll dash there and back.
Okay.
Bonus action dash as well as dash. Get there and back as fast as
Bonus action dash as well as dash. My character hits things hard. What does your do? Dash. Bonus action dash. Grab thing dash. I dash. Hi, my name Dash.
I get there quickly.
The metal figure would continue moving towards the portal with the smaller human in tow, and would simply also say, warning, celestial presence also detected. Would advise running faster.
Caveat, Micah. If there's a commander, loot that one. Take, best guess who has the best shit. Take that and leave.
Is
Um,
the Necron a paladin?
Unlike the others whose helm just looks like a skull with 2 points jabbing down on the sides of where a nose would be, the commander actually has this fringe that's almost a bit like a kabuki fan that sometimes might go and be held behind the head at times. It's fanned out in the center of the helm.
Sure. Loot everything on that guy.
Okay.
Check some pocket change. Of 3 of the others, hurry back.
All right. I'm going to say make a Arcana check.
But is the Necron a paladin?
Yes, we will get to that question in a moment.
Oh.
19.
Okay. You do sense that there is magic coming off of a couple of the items.
Okay. Take those. Cheese it. As well as a full set of the commander armor. Like, everything on him, money of some of the other guys, magic items that I sense. Cheese it. This will make up for not getting anything out of the house.
Realize I'm straight dumbass 0 IQ. I completely mixed up abilities. The Necron does not say there's a celestial aid area because I'm straight up retarded and misread something. Forgot that I did not go with Paladin for him, so whoops. Oopsies.
Whoopsie poopsie.
Whoopsie.
Oopsies. Sucks.
But that Nova, yo.
Okay. And as you are gathering up the items and flying back to the others who seem to be making their way toward the rift, you can see some of the Marrow are starting to walk forward. This amulet around the neck of the first one, who sort of, you can see through the rift, appears to be not quite quaking in their armor, but a little hesitant before stepping through, and rather than plummeting, they slowly start lowering. And
I don't suppose I could aim for
Start.
the amulet.
moving forward as they drift toward the stone. You may attempt to aim for it, yes.
Anti-magic field.
Eldritch Blast, followed by bonus action Eldritch Blast.
So?
Does a 27 hit?
27 does hit.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does not hit this one.
Okay. That one's a miss too. Does a 24 hit?
That does hit.
That one's a 28. 25. So I missed one.
Okay. So you are able to hit the amulet and destroy the figure, but as it is hit first, there's just this moment of, oh no, not me, as they start to fall before the rest of the blast just destroys them.
But
Are
not
they all-
again.
Are they all wearing individual amulets?
This particular individual was the first one to try going through.
Okay. Did he look
We're
special?
blasted off again.
They did have other things on them that seemed a little different than the last one. They did seem to have wrapped around one wrist a bracelet of some kind with glowing beads. They had a thing as they tumbled, which seemed to be attached to the back of their armor. Something gold and glowing.
This one, I feel like they should just give up.
I said, hey, Adbra, I think he's got some special things on him. He might have had a magic bracelet and some thing on his back if you want to chase that one.
Yeah, no, we should GTFOH to the winter, to the cold place.
Do any of the Marrow coming up behind that guy look like they have amulets as well?
A few of them do appear to have some that look the same, some that look a bit different. Despite the fact that you've caused this devastation and the fact that some look nervous in their stance, there's definitely a determination and fear of something more than such a brutal, painful, foolish death. Fear of something behind them.
Arwen's gonna pipe up in the middle of this and be like, also, I'm gonna point out, I don't know if it's my eyes playing tricks on me, but a couple of those guys in the back look like they were enjoying watching some of their men jump into their death, which isn't a good sign if they ever get across the butte to us.
That's why we should be going.
No, it's
to the
weird why we haven't
Frostar.
left yet.
We're like slowly edging to the Frostar.
Like, I understand it's cold and we're going from hot weather to cold weather, but it's not that big of a difference compared to death and not death.
So
Immediate death
Goodbye.
and not immediate death.
Potentially.
how many people can get to the Frostheart? Raise their hands. Oh, look, I can
Finnick
fly.
raises her hand.
I
That
can
still
fly.
raises her hand.
No, who can get there on their own?
Probably me.
Still raises another hand.
You can fly up there?
Oh, is it floating in the air?
It is floating a good 20 feet beyond the edge of the butte.
Oh, so you could jump into it.
Yes.
Can get in there.
Yeah, that'd be easy.
Oh, man, I thought this shit was like 50 feet up in the air and out off.
Oh no, you can literally just jump
Some of them
across.
are way high in the air, but no, these are more ones that, when you asked what ones can we reach, without, necessarily flying, these are ones that you could leap to easily, or have.
Is there any
somebody
nicer
throw them.
ones that I can fly to?
Seeing as how you hadn't asked before, there do seem to be some that might be considered nicer.
Might be.
I like how you said considered.
Well, you haven't gone through them; you just can see. So
You know that you gotta face the heart of darkness in this one, but it's less deadly than this, so it could be considered nicer than that.
well, I mean,
That's what
there
really
there is
thinking.
one that you can clearly see that appears to be a large chamber that is filled with gold, platinum, gems, bits of artifacts here and there.
How high is that one?
That one's about 60 feet
Asking
up.
for a friend.
Hate to say it, that sounds like a trap.
That sounds like a dragon lair.
Yeah,
That's like-
no.
sounds like an
I'm gonna
absolute
say no on that. We're gonna
I
know.
go and peek in that one.
Go to the frost harp, you man.
'Kay.
Please.
As you peek closer at it, just looking at it for a moment, not seeing anything strange or odd, peeking just to your head, but not going through it fully. The entire chamber is filled to the brim of skeletons that are covered in cobwebs and dust, and you can see scurrying around what looked like coins with some illusion over the area until you got closer. And now moving in your direction, these coin mites, like those that
Run!
had been encountered by some of the
I
other
run.
adventurers
I run.
in the
Stormhold.
I run.
Stormhold.
I run.
It does not appear to be the Stormhold, if Miranda does describe it to others,
Fireball.
but it does look like an infestation of these things.
Yeah, those
What are-
things you met
what
at the
are those?
Stormhold.
Coin
Coin
mites. They look like coins, only they are
Not.
insectoid creatures, metallic but not constructs, and they eat coins, and they disguise themselves as coins, and they particularly love, more than the metal itself, the taste of flesh and blood, and will lure adventurers into ambush situations where they think they've found a large hoard.
No.
Run!
That's
Run!
what still.
I
still
already
added
said
to
I
that.
ran. I said I ran.
Run again!
Dash a double dash.
Dash, double dash.
Drop.
Let's go.
You'll get away fastest if you just drop.
Drop the base.
Drop the explorer.
So that frost heart, we're like 10 feet away from it now, right?
Some of you might have already gone through, while the others are still
Yeah,
exploring and
we're just-
debating things.
Boom. Umbra would have gone. She's like, fuck y'all, jump.
Yeah. Oh. Remember
Little
that.
skeleton man and small human have gotten close enough. They've definitely gone through.
I'm with Fennec, so if Fennec went, I'm bye people.
Before we all start going through portals, I set up a major image in front of the other portal, so of the I don't know, the Scourge people, the Marrow, to block their sight. Just like giant wall. Make it look like sky.
Okay. And you are holding this from the moment that you make it until you go through the rift, correct?
Yes, but I'm going to trick spell a fireball. From a different angle, coming from one of the different portals, and I will be the last one to go through that one, so that they think that we went through a different one.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check. Or no, deception check.
Deception. Yes, thank you.
The persuade.
I'm good at deception. I am super good at deception. $36.
Okay. As you flee into the rift, ducking down after getting through, you are able to see some of the Marrow who are burning as this rock starts forming out of the rift, turning into a series of stairs from this liquid that's turning into stone as it's pouring down. Some of them burning, one who peeks over in the direction where you had fired it from before, quickly fleeing, peeking up just enough to see that many of them start making their way, some of them able to fly or glide, many first making their way down to the butte. They do appear to be spreading out, but orders barked. Many are heading off in the direction of the one that you fired from.
Yay! I just infested another world with their presence.
Okay.
Well, it seems
Go
like
ahead
they're
and
only
make a
going after
perception
Darwin.
check.
Well, shit. What did you just do?
25.
As you watch to see which one that you had
Stealthily.
done, you wouldn't have been able to do the one with the ship or the coin mites from trying to get the angle to not look the same. But which of the other previously described ones would you have chosen to make them head toward?
Oh, what are my options again?
There's one that appears to be an underwater cave with candles that are flickering out. There appears to be one to the burrows, one to Deathhold, one to the Stormhold, and a few to other assorted ones that you didn't really get a good look at. The other ones that you got a good look at were, the angle would have led them at least closer toward the one that led to the Frostheart.
Is there anything awful in the Stormhold?
Well, outside of the labyrinthian dungeons that are shifting, you know that there's constant lightning and thunder going off. There are bone stalkers that have been hunting creatures, but you would imagine that a force of that size would probably be able to manage
Give it to the Barrows.
go for a while.
Give it to the Barrows. There's a lot of unpleasantry I know about in there. Maybe they can find the knives they want to play with you. You remember the knives, right?
Nah.
Lucille still has a knife.
She has one knife, yes. She still has that. She's saving it for a special occasion.
So,
The one with the necrotic toxin? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She has it.
Is it a one shot? Like you use it once and that's it?
No. Do you want to find out? Let's find out together.
Yeah, by me stabbing you, because that would be fun. She's like, maybe but he won't be such a bad student after all.
Right? Right? She likes to cut a yo jib.
I
okay.
feel like I missed something. I'm trying to fix my audio for a second.
So, as you lead them off heading toward the burrows, you can see, glimpsing back out, that some of the rifts are starting to slowly close, though it does appear that it will still take quite some time for them to fully seal up.
Everyone gotten through the Frost Art portal yet?
Yeah, I was the last one through, and I was
Okay,
trying
good.
to trick them into going and checking out the different one. I sent them to the barrows, mostly.
Okay.
There's not enough awful shit there yet, of course.
Well, at least we're familiar with the cold here.
Where do we find ourselves in the Frost Art?
You find yourselves in the middle of a vast plain of snow and ice with mountains in the distance. It is not quite the same place as you've visited before. There clearly is a shift in position. Yet there is a semi-familiar sort of sight, as you can see carved into the stone and rock Duke and Duchess Orcam, Strahd and Giselle, cleft out of stone and ice, standing 30 feet tall, possibly higher from how far back it is, hard to tell, and a spire that reaches even higher up than Ebon Peak had.
So there's a statue of those two?
It seems to be carved out of the stone and ice. Yes. The two of them standing next to each
So,
other.
These are Yllenda's
national monument
parents?
thing.
Right?
I'm sorry, what did you say as far as parents?
Yllenda's?
No.
No,
No,
not
this is
Yllenda's.
Yllenda's adoptive sister and Count
Yeah.
Strahd.
Okay. I didn't really.
We know where we are, sort of.
Oh, because their parents aren't Duke and Duchess. They're a king and queen already, right? Anyways, so this is the statues of Strahd and what's her face? Yollanda's sister.
Yes.
Okay. I see things are going great here. Nothing but good things are gonna happen from now on.
Was this here before?
No.
Nope.
This most definitely was not.
No. How does Linnell feel about this?
Cold. Again.
Again, yeah. Umbra's gonna go through her portal, her
How much
portable
time-
hole and get a blanket.
How much time has passed since we left?
In terms of how much time has, to your perspective, passed, about 2.5 days.
And how how much time actually passed here?
You're not certain.
Oh, because this portal could have also gone through time as well as dimensions. So this could be 20 years later or 100 years later.
Or
Let's
5
hope
years
it's
earlier?
no, because they didn't know each other 5 years earlier. Unless, I mean, he could have gone forward faster with his plans, yeah.
The issue is that there's no slime eating everything, and there's no giant shadow that's consumed everything.
Well, this does
I
not appear
have
to
the
be
feeling.
where Ebon Peak is. This appears to be a
Right.
completely different mountain range.
So this is like quite a distance away from where we need to be.
Well, it's quite a distance away from where you had left, at least. Where you need to be, who knows?
That's relative.
Good point.
Need is a strong term right now.
Would Umbra recognize the mountains with her keen mind?
I would say, given that Umbra has spent a long time before having been to the Frostheart again, go ahead and make a intelligence check and see whether or not you happen to recognize anything.
Better recognize.
If you don't know, now you know. If you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son.
History or just straight intelligence?
Intelligence. This is less history specific as geology.
That's a 17 plus 5, 22.
You vaguely remember this mountain range and looking around another mountain range further to the side. When you had previously been here, it had been just a small village starting out, and there had been frost giants that had been living up in the mountains, and humans struggling to survive in the valley below, where there would be snowfields, but also parts where, due to magic and geothermal heat, areas where crops were able to be grown to feed the growing village and others that started to crop out in this valley. It is far wider than the one that Ivarab was within, and most definitely does not contain the Wandering Woods. But the trees definitely look like they've been there for decades, if not centuries, for the taller ones. And it has been quite some time since you've ever been here.
So would she be able to point in the direction of Avarab?
I would say you'd vaguely be able to point. To your best recollection, Ivarab would be akin to a good 100 miles from here, or possibly more.
Ha 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 ha.
It's a good thing we can fly.
From discussion with some of the other party members and Gisela and others, you would wager that this is the territory that ancestrally belongs to Gisela's family.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I was thinking. Like, this was Giselle's land, because I knew it was a far distance from Avarab. So, Ylenda's with us, right?
Yes.
Umbra's gonna go to Yllenda and be like, "How do you feel like visiting your adopted family?"
Is the spire here man-made? Is there like a castle thing here?
It's hard to tell from here whether it is made with mundane means or with magic to create it. It does appear to be a mixture of stone, iron, and ice.
What does Yllenda say?
It's been quite a bit of time since I've been back, evidently even longer than I thought. For that, only a small problem that I see. Benevolence told us that Dantalion took Strahd's soul, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Right. So unless he put it back in the Duke's body, that's not the Count we knew.
Oh
is it?
yeah,
Nope.
I'm well aware of that. Yeah.
And my sister, just didn't notice the difference between this mad narcissistic sadist and the Count?
I mean, that's how he originally was.
Right, but it's been, centuries?
Unless,
700 and more?
I noticed his declining, self turning back to his old self.
So that's kind of the issue it comes down to, ain't it?
Guess we gotta, find her and ask her.
Well, we all know that the contraption was set up for transference, and Benevolence saw Strahd's soul get sucked out of Blondie here. We grabbed Blondie, right?
We did not grab any Strahd.
No.
Are you serious?
Nobody made any mention of it.
That would be a thing that we would do, though, I would hope.
No.
Well, Darwin doesn't know anything about what we need the body for, so Darwin definitely didn't grab it.
Well, it was somebody preserved it.
Why?
Umbra preserved it because we killed him, quote unquote, but we still wanted to bring him back. But we didn't want him to fight us.
Right.
So the body is still going to stay there for 10 days in mint condition, ready to be resurrected or whatever, if the soul is willing to.
The issue is the soul got taken out, apparently. So the soul can't come back even if we wanted to.
Hey, Micah, can I stealthily go back and get him?
First, Umbra, did you explain what it was that the spell was doing?
She will explain the spell to them, yes.
No, I mean, did you previously when you had cast it?
Yeah. She said that we'll kill him now, and she'll cast a spell to preserve him, so that he can be resurrected.
Okay. So I'm going to rule that because that had been mentioned, it was just a frantic pace of fleeing, that it was overlooked. So I'm not going to require Miranda to make a religion or arcana check to know that the body would still be preserved without the soul.
Invisibility. Go get him. Stealthily bring him back. Don't let anybody notice that I'm going through this portal with him.
Okay.
But Miranda wasn't there when when Umbra cast the spell.
Miranda wouldn't leave him behind.
Yeah, you have that thing for him.
Well, it's not that I have a thing for him, as I was physically and soul-bound to him and his fucking wife.
Well, fiance at the time, but yes.
Yes.
So, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Is this for bringing him back? Because I am invisible.
I understand that. But you are still trying to navigate and grab a body, which is not invisible.
Okay. Pass without a trace, then. Ooh, are those both concentration? Fuck. Okay. So I'm gonna recast invisibility at third level to make him invisible as well, and wait for a time when nobody's looking to do that, and then bring him back through with me.
Okay. So, as you travel, seeking this means of getting through, make a perception check.
As we travel seeking this.
I was saying, as you are travel seeking this route, make a perception check.
Is a 28.
Okay. So, you see, stepping out of one of the rifts onto the butte, Marrow scrambling and lashing out with crossbows and pikes. There is this form, blue and pale, with red lines running through its body, hairy mane and horns coming out of it. Instead of a ordinary face of some beast, there is a single eye that glows faintly, looking out from the center where the nose would be, and surrounding it are rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of blood-covered teeth. And there are spines coming out of its back to the side, almost like the horns, and there are bodies impaled on them. And it looks around, just batting aside a Marrow that tries to charge at it with a sword. Another that draws near, and it just picks it up and bites down into it, snapping off the head and leaving it in a crumpled mess. And it glances in your direction, and there is a vague sense of recognition for a moment as the eye thrums and glows. And the huge monstrosity mouth flares in and out for a moment, breathing deeply, and starts turning translucent before you see it vanish. Marrow spreading out, preparing where to attack, and claws raking right through metal and flesh alike. Another with an arm ripped off as is ragdolled into others. This is in the manner of mere seconds of its notice. It seems occupied at the moment.
They don't look friendly to each other. Did that come out of the same portal as they did?
No, it did not. It came from one much higher up.
Oh. Yeah. GTFO. With the Strahd, as they are occupied. Casting invisibility on him and myself as well. And then going back to the Frostheart.
As you fly back through and bring along Strahd the Alchemist's body, there is sounds of screams that get cut off as you go through the rift.
I find the others, and then, like, in the palm of my hand, I bring up, like, a to-scale model of what I just saw as a silent image. Anybody know what that is?
Let's find out.
A whole
what-
bunch of nope.
What would we roll for this?
I would say this would be a Arcana check or a nature check.
Well, I don't think my 10's getting me much.
All right, first we'll go for Darwin.
Hey, I'm pretty good at 30.
Ooh, that's tasty. sitting at a 21 for Darwin. We move on to Lilith. Ooh, I have the feeling she don't know. He does not know because that is a 10, probably. And finally, we move on to our good old friendly Eon.
Is that what the Necron's called?
Okay, he might know what this is. Which one's higher? They're the same. Okay, so that's... Oh, that's only a 23. Never mind.
Did you name your Necron Eon?
Well, technically it's Elon Chick. But, well, if the full title is God Eon Chick. Eon is the short and easy term for it. Of course, he's not shared that name yet. The only one you would know would be the short human ranger.
Does anybody know who it is?
So what did the 30 get?
I was about to say that 30 has to know something.
Couple of 10s, a 21, a 23, and a 30. We're waiting on Micah.
Yep, sorry. Just had a moment where I had a issue with pulling up the file because I had it typed down.
That's how big it is.
Vaguely, there are tales of the Holderazgo. It is called by other names in different cultures, but it is known colloquially in common as simply a lunar predator, a creature that seems to thrive in not simply the darkness itself, but in the full moons. That this creature moves swiftly, like a ghost, fearless and able to hunt with uncanny cleverness. And as Umbra and Aeon are explaining this, there is a sound of crunching snow a distance behind.
It followed you home, didn't it, Miranda?
It was pretty busy when I left.
It followed you home.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
Darwin's just gonna give a good old look at that thing and just go, yeah, I'm glad that it was you that saw it and not me.
Yeah, you're able to see the illusion, but you are not able to see the creature itself.
Beetlejuice. What's in the sound of the crunching snow?
There is just the sound of the crunching snow and then nothing further.
Is it?
Did it leave a footprint?
There does not appear to be a footprint per se.
You
Does it
say
look-
per se.
Is there an imprint then?
There is a huge imprint in the snow for just a moment, and as a breeze blows some snow along the field and goes through the space where this imprint was, nothing is highlighted by the snow, and there are no other imprints visible at present.
So that thing can't fly, right?
It followed you. It followed you. It followed.
Oh, it's almost
You don't
done.
have enough shit to deal with. Let's get this over with.
Hmm. Is that thing technically a monstrosity? Or
Yes.
is that...
It is a huge monstrosity.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Well, what's everybody waiting for?
A direction, Nicolai.
Embra's like, well, Ivorab is in that direction, and the other kingdom is in that direction.
Can I thaumaturgy to get the ground to shake and see if anything doesn't displace normally?
One moment.
Specifically where that print was.
How far away is the print?
Well, you can create harmless tremors on the ground for a minute. 1 second. I'm just trying to see if it says anything in terms of 30 feet. So, you are able to basically move it around in a testing sort of battleship method of hitting different areas to see.
Well, I know where the
Where it
print
is.
was.
Well, I get that. I was just saying in terms of it's not like a large circle if, you know, you are trying to seek out where it is. As you do that, just like the snow that moved in with the breeze, it tosses snow up, but it doesn't seem to be impacting anything there presently. You're 99.999999% certain that from the size of the imprint, it definitely followed you, invisible, and moved after impacting down, but it did not leave any impressions in the snow as it walked along the surface.
What the fuck kind of shit is that?
It has on the boots of the elven kind.
Well,
It innately has passed without a trace. A creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
That's cool.
Right?
Which is why it is known as a very unnervingly uncanny, clever predator.
Y'all motherfuckers just had to leave fucking Strahd.
Okay. So I have a
No
good
one
thing.
told you to go back to get the body. We didn't need the body.
Didn't need the fucking creature either.
So,
went
quick
back.
question: Can our two new individuals, as they both have levels in Ranger, one who only has a single level but still
As
has
bait as the others leave, yeah, we're gonna do
the thing is that both the Necron and the small Ranger both have their favorite enemy as monstrosities. So, may they do survival checks to see if they can figure out where that thing went?
I would say you can certainly make the check to have a more educated guess toward what its tactics might be, considering that there is a, sizable group, and if it might attack or seek out other prey, or if it is going to attack, who might it attack first, things of that nature. Because it is invisible and it is not leaving tracks or making sounds. You wouldn't be able to attack at disadvantage, just because unless you do an area of effect, you literally just don't know where to try and aim, other than maybe near, say, this person, because I think they're going to get attacked.
Gotcha.
So it still might help in terms of trying to guess, but it would not be a guarantee.
But I will go ahead and roll that here real quick. So Lilith is going to have they get advantage on the checks for monstrosity. That is a 24 for Lilith. And for you gotta see what his bonus is to this, because I don't think it's actually a good bonus. Yeah, no, he's got a shit bonus, but he still gets to re-roll if it's bad, technically. So then for Eon, we're sitting at 15.
So, from what little you seem to recall of the creature, it enjoys the thrill of the hunt more so than solely hunting for food by itself, for sustenance. It is most interested in what it considers to be an interesting hunt, and affixing, after consuming parts of it, corpses as trophies of its kills, especially if they have any sorts of features that, say, another one of its kind might see and consider favorably in, say, courtship.
Fuck.
So you do not think it would likely pick off the weakest that it might see.
So, do both of them realize this, or is this just Lilith?
They both will be able to realize this after a bit of discussion back and forth.
Yes. So, blonde-haired Ranger and Lilith would pipe up and was like, "Hey, so I know this is the first time we're all meeting and speaking, and I apologize for not introducing myself earlier. Hi, I'm Lilith. That thing's going to hunt us for sport. And it's going to want to take trophies. The issue is, we have some rather interesting-looking individuals in our group. And to that, Lilith will just kind of point towards Mr. Rockman Benevolence, as well as Mr. Necron man behind her.
Why can't it be a beast? Then I could just talk to it. Make it go away. Like, legit, there are no beasts ever. There's never any beasts.
Well, there are beasts. It's just that most beasts tend to flee groups of people rather than just go and hunt unless they are, picking off a...
Hunting beasts. Lions. Lions and tigers and
Well,
bears.
yes, but lions and tigers and bears won't just charge into a group of 8+ people. They might if you're near their den, or if they're starving, or if somebody has wandered off from the group and, gotten close to one of their cubs, or when they're in the middle of feeding or defecating. But they're not going to just go and chase after somebody unless they've gone rabid. Most beasts prefer to avoid civilization until desperate. So.
Yeah, my ass is in the air and it's staying there.
Syl's gonna cast her once for short rest spell that she got way back when, and I never got the chance to use it. Called See Invisibility.
Okay.
It finally becomes handy.
You do see this huge monstrosity. It is not prowling around the cluster of you all. It is slowly stalking in the direction of the statues that dwarf its presence.
Wait, so is
How
it stalking
far
us
away
and
is
going that direction, or is it stalking something else going that direction?
It's basically moving in the direction of the statues of Duke and Duchess Strahd and Gisela Orcam.
Is that the direction towards Averab?
Well, no, Averab is far away from here. This is 100 miles. It is in the direction of the tall spire and several villages and city that is spread out throughout this wide valley.
You're the only one that sees it. Do you want to point him out? Lays the target for us, bro.
We don't have to fight it though. It's not looking at us.
No, it's just gonna kill the entire town down there.
That sounds like it's the town's problem. Dealing with
Until
a
it
neutral
becomes
evil
our
person.
problem.
A
Until it becomes
neutral
our
evil
problem
person.
for letting it in.
Fucking, how far away is this thing?
Okay, 1 moment here. At present, it is about 150 feet away.
That's out of stabbing range.
Not out of shooting range. Give me some blood. Just need some tracks.
But she wanted to use her sword. Fuck off. Let's see what the dice say. Evens or odds, Arendelle?
Odds. I like some odds.
She's gonna remain tight-lipped about it.
What did I just miss?
The only person that knows where it is ain't saying shit about it.
Wait, what'd you... Out of character, what'd you guys just do? Because I did just totally miss it because I had to go run and grab something.
He seed invisibility and saw that it was stalking off in the direction of the spire and town and city, 150 feet away. That he is not saying shit about.
So it's not even...
Where's Averab? Oh, she's gonna take out her, her cold clothes. Her warm clothes for the cold first. The cloak and the boot. Yeah. And then head in that direction. And Umbra's gonna also take, put on her warm clothes and give warm clothes to Linnell.
You can only preserve this body once, right?
I think I can keep casting it. Like, once 10 days are up, she can cast it again.
Yeah, it requires recasting it to keep it going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Essentially, it just keeps rotting a couple seconds at a time every 10 days.
Yeah.
It's just
Which isn't a lot, but it does mean that you have to have a caster who doesn't die in the process, and
Yeah.
also that they have enough magical capabilities to cast it and spell slots available.
Okay. Well,
Syl
All
seems to be
off and-
heading the opposite direction from the statues.
Darwin will follow, slowly followed by Lilith and Eon as well.
what's in that direction?
Direction.
Umbra's gonna be like, that's where Averab is.
Is that where we came from?
That's
Out of character.
where Ebon Peak and was on the cliff above Iverup.
Okay. Then I will go in that direction as well. 'Cause
Are you
that's,
dragging the body?
Bro, I fly.
You're gonna be flying with the body?
Nobody else is gonna take it.
Nope.
Well, you haven't asked for anyone else to take it.
Any volunteers holding for ferrying the meat slab?
He just kind of looks up and just goes, "Oh." How do you need the body again?
Umbra's gonna cast floating disc and tell you to put it on the disc.
Did you douche die that?
No.
Okay, put it on the disc.
Okay.
I don't suppose anybody can identify.
Identify what?
Umbra raises her hand.
I show loot.
A loot?
I took a bunch of stuff off those bone people.
Were they bone people?
No, they're bone armored people.
I mean, you took an armor off him. You should have seen their body.
Well, Micah didn't describe it!
Just looks
they
over
were
and it's like,
Mostly
fine bone.
human. There were some tieflings and elves, but most of them were human.
Nope, just bone armored. They're a smattering of different races, kind of like us.
Okay.
Yeah. Not a single one of them was dwarf, though.
Dwarf. They hate dwarves.
Yes,
Somebody does.
that is the joke that I made when I found out when I looked into what the soul plane was for Darwin. I was laughing my ass off because he's very specifically racist towards dwarves.
So
He hates
that's
them
where
with a
the
burning
self-loathing comes from.
Perhaps it's not actually Darwin hating himself; it's the soul of a
Oh, I know.
racist hating himself.
Oh, I know. Believe me.
Alright, so she's gonna cast the ritual to identify the magical loot on their 100+ mile journey to Averab.
Thank you. This gets it out of the way. I'm no longer curious.
Is it daylight?
It is not at present. It is a
Son
full
of
moon.
a hell.
What are the chances
Oh,
we can get a
that's why
ghost
the
dark out in here?
lunar hunter is out prowling.
And
It's
this would be a great
nighttime.
time to have another night scythe or a ghost dark, ready to ferry everyone to where we need to go.
So, there are a few different things that are being checked to be identified. What is being checked first? Since Miranda asked, I will say that they would probably be the first to ask Umbra, but Umbra could choose whether to,
I don't know what I
identify for them
got
first
all.
or not. So, what you seem to have is 12 platinum, 98 gold,
Oh.
a disc of some kind, a black bird totem, a gauntlet, and a series of beads that seems like it would wrap around a wrist. It was stuffed into one of the Marrow's armor pockets.
I did get a full suit of their armor, though, right? From
Yes.
the commander.
It is medium armor in case of the leathers and such that are underneath, and half plate for what is the actual metal itself.
Do the gauntlet first.
You gonna help with the identification?
I will repeat what you say to me.
Alright, so roll with advantage.
That's 20.
That's higher than what I got. So we'll go with your roll.
Okay. So, this gauntlet that you identify has design that wraps around the forearm and extends over part of the back of the hand with spikes curling down. What appears to be almost a design that is melted glass and crystals mixed together to almost create like a forge that is pouring out into a smelting pit of some kind. It is a Hellfire Gauntlet, which requires attunement by a character of Constitution score of at least 18.
Ooh.
is crafted from a metal formed in a world far from the Frost Heart.
Aw, Yun's one short.
If one meets the requirements the Gauntlet bears, they gain a myriad of new abilities. Strength score increases by 2. All melee weapon attacks they deal have an additional 2d4 fire damage. Any target of large or smaller size successfully damaged by a melee attack must make a strength saving throw or be pushed back 5 feet. The DC is 8 plus proficiency bonus plus the user's strength modifier.
Holy shit.
The user's unarmed strikes deals 1d8 damage, and they are considered proficient with unarmed strikes. The user gains access to the Firebolt cantrip. Use the character's level to determine the damage amount. Wisdom is used for calculating the hit bonus for Firebolt. By spending an action, the following effect activates. The user smashes their weapon into the ground, creating a devastating shockwave of force and fire. All creatures within 20 feet of the user must make a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 force damage, 2d6 fire damage, and be knocked prone, or half as much damage on a save and not knocked prone.
I
The
literally just
DC for
made.
this effect is equal to 8 plus proficiency bonus plus the user's strength modifier. This
Oh,
ability
who
can
the
be used a
hell
number of
did you
times equal
loot?
to the user's strength modifier per long rest.
I literally built a character just now. And he's finished. That needs this.
Okay.
There is also
What in the hell did you loot?
there is also
The commander.
magic that seems to be buried deeper than Identify is able to suss out.
Nice.
Well, watch that be the curse that makes it so that it's forever bonded to your arm and you slowly start to go mad.
That's what decurse is for.
Good point.
Well, Umbra explains all this to her. Here you go. Have fun with that.
She can't wear it.
Neither can Syl.
I would assume the only two people close enough would be Benevolence or Eon.
Is this a
Neon's
legendary
still short.
item?
Yeah.
Micah?
Hmm?
Is this a legendary item?
This is indeed a legendary item, yes.
Okay. Beads next, I guess?
Okay. The beads have one that is black. The rest are an assortment of different colors. The magic on them seems to be that the wearer would attune to the black one, and others would attune to the other colors, up to 6 other people. And the possibility of adding additional beads if they are collected or forged. It can hold much more, but at present it has only 7 beads. When an individual travels a vast distance or cross planes or time, and other individuals are attuned to the other beads, they may be summoned to where the wearer is located at, as long as they were willful in attuning. They may be summoned individually or multiple at a time. When summoned, the bead has a 1d4 chance of shattering after use.
That seems handy.
Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of teleporting,
Anybody
do we
got a
have to
personal
make
army?
a stain check? Going through the rift?
Alright. You may all roll a strength check, yes.
What are we rolling?
This is to see whether or not you gain or lose a soul pain. I have previously, when we've not been at the start or end of a session when traveling, rolled some up in advance to see how many people would be doing it. But I wasn't entirely certain whether or not the party would travel yet.
Well, I mean, we were fiddle fucking around for a few episodes.
I really wanted to go to the futuristic place.
And get shot at.
Meh. We're always getting shot at.
Question is, are high numbers good or bad for this?
High numbers are good.
Low numbers are bad. So shit.
Oh yeah.
Depends on how bad.
2 seems
Yeah.
pretty bad.
One.
Well, the good
is
news is it's not
absolutely
like he has a soul in the first place, technically speaking. Or, I suppose their definition of soul is probably different than your normal definition of soul. So it's fine.
So, what other items we got left? We got the Soul Gauntlet, the Bracelet of Super Summoning.
The bracelet of the planeswalker. I don't know.
There is the Blackbird Totem, and the disc,
Disc.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
half-plate armor.
What's the bird do?
Yeah, do the totem, then the disc, then the armor.
Do we have to keep rolling, or is the 20 gonna be satisfactory for all of them?
We all walking, by the way, while they're
Yes.
analyzing these?
Yes. And you're doing Identify as a ritual, or are you doing this as casting it with a spell?
Ritual.
Okay, then yes, you would want to roll for each of them individually, because you're doing
Yay.
different rituals.
What did you get?
16.
Let's go with the 16.
What was the other one?
The other one was a 7.
So, still enough for the level of the spell that it didn't fail and stop you from using it further. If it had been a 1, that would have been an issue.
You did
Yeah.
it for a while. Was it
Yeah, I
a day or a
remember.
week?
We had to roll a D4? I don't remember.
Okay, so...
And then I got a 14 for the next one.
Had 20 for the next one. And a 15.
Alright. So, the
9 and 14.
the totem is a totem of necrotic resistance.
Ooh.
While it is on an individual's person, it will provide 1 hour of necrotic resistance after activation as a bonus action.
Does it need to be attuned?
No. but it was
That's
only able to
epic.
do it once per dawn.
Well, tuck that in my pocket.
Quite interesting. You guys sharing this information as you're kind of identifying it, or are you keeping it to yourselves?
Umbra's telling Miranda because it's her stuff.
'Kay.
If y'all want to eavesdrop, then y'all can eavesdrop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not gonna be like freely sharing the information, but if you want,
No. I mean, Darwin's not fed by greed, so it's not like he's gonna care. He's be like, oh, good find. No. Technically speaking, I don't think the Necron would care too much about your human, whatever it is you're finding.
All right. The disc next, I believe you said. Yes.
Yep.
As you identify it, there is a flash for a moment in your mind of when Miranda picked it up, and other flashes, snapshots here and there of your travels thus far. Imagery in your head drifting off into space, and you realize this is a tracking disc,
Blump.
which propagates snapshots of events and audio and sensations, emotions, and transmits them back to some receiver elsewhere.
can I go and throw that back through the portal?
As it is 10 minutes per identify, you can fly back and suddenly have everybody wondering what the hell you're doing. But yeah, you are a distance from it right now, and it has been steadily closing slowly. You may
We
make a
are
perception
we
check
are
to see if it's still open.
Hold on. So you said it transmits information based on who's holding it?
Who has
Just
it on
memories?
position?
Does
Well,
it
that's-
only trade things that happen from a point onwards, or?
From the moment that it is on a individual's person.
Is that shared with the group? Because all I can say is there's a certain 8-foot tall skeleton figure who might be able to frighten a little bit. If you catch my drift.
You straight up here. It's a tracking disc as it's identified.
Ah. The
Yeah,
Necron
it's-
kind of looks over and simply goes, "Who is tracking us?"
What is tracking us?
Big bad from the Bone Army.
When is it tracking us?
Now,
Why is it tracking
Fine,
us?
Bone Army.
disc.
We're gonna get rid of it, so don't worry about it.
Marrow.
And convince them. Stop.
Go! Dude, portal's there. They're right there.
I do not need portal. All I
Dash
need
double-
is device.
You can make your shot, make it snappy, and then I'm dash, double dash, and double dash my way back there because I don't think we're moving like quick through the snow. I mean,
Wait a
I
minute.
fly.
How much does this weigh?
It's about a pound, 2 pounds.
The disc.
Catapult.
You're
It
not
still-
wrong.
Brings them to this plane.
Yeah,
They
but
already know
it's
we're
not gonna
here,
help.
though.
They already know we're here. It's just a matter of telling it to fuck off.
Well, tell it to fuck off.
Yes, I'm sure it's gonna listen to us.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we can do. Actually, how far away is the rift currently from our position?
Um,
Traveling through mountainous, snowy region.
This is what, the third or fourth identify, and it's 10 minutes per. Which I can almost guarantee doing a ritual while walking is probably not the fastest walking.
you're about 1,200 yards.
Oh man.
Okay. Owen's just gonna kind of pick it up and just kind of point. Use the first level catapult, and that bitch is just gonna yeet into the distance, just as far, because it can go. Actually, no, wait, because I can target an object up to 60 feet away. He's just gonna.
I thought that you were gonna convince it no.
Well,
Is
that's
how you're
what
convincing
Eon's
it
gonna
no?
do. But if you guys don't give it to Eon, then Darwin's gonna yeet it.
I'm just gonna yeet it 90 feet in a straight line. She
No,
knows
get 60
catapult.
feet away from it and then yeet it, because then technically it's 150 feet away.
I can go 120 a turn, and
Then yeet it. Oh, hey, actually, do you want Longstrider?
yeah.
Alright. Ask for it then. Ask if someone has a speedy uppy spell.
Hey, how about Expedious Retreat?
No.
Or no, I think that just gives me a bonus dash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody can make me go a little faster?
The short ranger by the name of Lilith, pipes up and goes, well, I can give you a little bit of a boost. You gotta come down from there. I can't exactly do it from down here while you're all the way up there.
I go down to him.
That's enough. And she'll go ahead and just give a reassuring pat on the shoulder, say some words, and cast a first level Longstrider.
Peck on the cheek.
Actually, yeah, screw it. That's what you do, actually, now that I think about what I wrote down for the character.
Yeah, both go to peck each other on the cheek and just full blown mouth kiss.
I feel like that'd be something that Miranda would do.
I mean, I pecked her on the cheek, so. Thanks, sweetie. Zoom, motherfucker, zoom, zoom. So, Longstrider gives me what, 5 extra movement?
10.
10?
If you could go 120 before, now you're going 130.
So
It lasts for
no.
an hour, so.
No, what it is it moves me up to 40, which I dash then for 80, and I double dash for 160.
Yes, you're right.
Which is roughly 53 yards a turn.
You could be back at the portal in 2 turns, essentially, almost.
No.
It's 1,200.
It is 22 turns.
1,200. Oh,
Which is...
I misread that. I thought you said 120 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went much farther than I thought we did.
Well,
Takes me 2.5
I did,
2.25 minutes to get back.
15 feet instead of 30 feet. Difficult terrain without mounts. And then the amount of time for a turn and, 10
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
minutes
good point.
of each identify. So, it adds
Just
up.
shit at math.
So, that roughs out to 2.25 minutes to get back to the portal area.
Mm-hmm.
The portal still open?
The portal is about the size of your hand as you reach it.
Flip the disc through.
Go ahead and make an attack.
Can it be with advantage? because I'm right next to it. Like, I go up to it. I'm like,
It's not so much a matter of that you're next to it as you're trying to toss it in instead of sticking your hand in and risking, losing a hand.
19.
You manage to stick it into the portal with a quick toss, and as it goes in, the portal severs a chunk out of the disc. You can see a fragment of one of the runes, and the rest of it is on the other side. If you had tried to put your hand in, you most definitely would have lost
it. You were waiting for me to say, I stick it through the portal. Okay. Yeah. Throw the disc in a random direction, then the rest through it, and then go back to the party.
Okay. And as you rejoin the party,
How about that half plate?
It's also a tracking device. Nah. Mick. Transforms into a tiny version of the house on Griffith Hill.
the bone armor itself, as you look closer at it, appears to have not just bone in its design, but what appears to be something else between pieces of the bone. Somewhat the wrinkles of a brain of some sort. While worn, the wearer and allies within 10 feet are under the effect of an aura of protection, having advantage on saves against enchantment spells.
You know, if it fits, that'd be good for benevolence.
Oh, huh. Well, no, because dash is an action. It's not part of your movement. It just adds to it.
Exactly. So you do your 40, then you do your 80, then you do your other 80. No?
So, dashing as an action would give 80. Bonus dash would give another 80. But unless you had another action for going further,
Like haste
it would
or
be
something.
160.
Yeah, I would need haste to get that, and I'm not one.
The dash itself is basically just the extra 40. So you don't get 40 plus 80. It's the two together make the 80, like Arendelle said.
Okay.
Which means Syl has probably lost a couple of races that might have ended up in her death before. Who knows?
Yeah, that was doing movement wrong, bro.
And sucks.
Probably would have died several times.
Only way you could have
Okay.
gotten there faster is if you had the boots of striding and leaping and someone casted jump on you. In 2 jumps, you're already back at the rift.
So yeah, we continue on our merry way.
Okay.
100 miles in ye old direction.
Nighttime.
Sounds like a good time for some conversation.
If it was nighttime, though,
Probably do need to make camp.
make camp. Yeah. We should probably make camp because it's probably way below freezing.
Yeah. Well, the good news is how many people do we have with us currently? We've got what?
Too many.
Wait a second. Both of them are quite useful.
Suicide is not the way out, so.
Yeah,
What?
still. Not useful useful in survival situations.
We can just end ourselves. And you don't have to worry about it. End of campaign. Bad guys win.
Dude, we left on our
We-
own terms. Does that mean we win?
Win. Yeah.
We
we
reached the
left
game
on our
over that
terms.
we wanted to
Screw you,
reach.
Bad guys.
Win. But so we've got what? Eon, Lilith, Darwin, Syl, Umbra, Miranda. We have Lane, Nail.
We have 8 people with us.
This big fat ogre dude is dead. We've got Benevolence. We got
Yeah.
Fennec.
Fennec. So that's 9. Anybody else important?
We have Raul's character Kale.
Oh, Kale. Yeah, I keep forgetting about them.
I know there's a couple of NPCs.
Oh, and then Arendelle.
Well, I think
mean,
a couple of them died. So
Not Arendelle. The stupid elf.
There's
That's 11.
Linnea and Yllenda with.
oh, Ylinda's the one we're not counting. Yeah.
Well, I'm counting on Yllenda, and I'm at 11.
A question. So Lilith can
That's-
cast Tiny Hut, but issue is that has a max capacity of 10 individuals, including Lilith.
Well, Umbra is gonna cast Galder's Tower. Boom! 100-foot, 20-foot tall tower with 200 square foot of space. So you
Oh,
know,
yeah. It's probably far better.
only for her and Vanel though. So everyone else
Can go in your tiny fucking
tiny
hut.
hut.
You know what? The only thing
I mean, the thing
heard
is, though, is funny
was
thing is,
safe resting place.
I mean, it has a duration of 8 hours, and you can make it practically invisible to the outside world. So, I mean, it's what?
That's-
A 10-foot or 10-foot radius or 20-foot diameter dome. That's decent amount of space.
It's enough for a big cuddle pile.
I mean, let's be honest, we'll need it with the cold, but I don't think too many people
Does
would
it
mind.
keep out the cold? It should keep out the cold.
Yes. The atmosphere inside this space is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside.
Yeah.
It'd still be decent temperature. I don't think it says it's heated, technically.
No, but it is.
I mean, it's not gonna be
dry and
freezing.
considered comfortable. It means it is at least at a level that is warm enough that you're not going to be shivering or risking getting pneumonia, but it is not going to be the same as, say, making the inside desert and
Yeah.
hot desert, I should say, because
Miranda's
it's a
still
cold desert already.
okay with the cuddle pile though.
I have the feeling I know who she's going to try and cuddle with.
The robot.
I mean, he's got plenty of bones.
He's certainly hard enough for her.
Anyways,
So Galder's Tower. 10 minutes later, 20-foot tower, room enough for Umbra and Linnell.
Yeah, but
It's
the
gonna
thing
be
is that
a
they see
bedroom
the
with
tower,
a
they're not gonna be able
bed,
to see the dome.
and then a washroom.
Okay. And using pace of walking, slow pace rather than half movement, given the snow and conditions, points where there will be slope or.
Have you been calculating
other
this the whole
things.
time?
You're looking at about 18 miles that you're able to travel before taking another long rest.
That's not too bad. That's
So
like,
another 5 odd days until we get there? 6 days?
about 6 days, yeah.
Unless nobody gets eaten by a snow bunny?
That's not the worst thing out here.
So we've got the tiny hut up for else. Lilith would kind of instruct everyone to kind of get in close so she could cast it.
I thought
And
two of your people could cast it, so you can have 2 different ones.
That is a good question, actually. Do I have another? Does I don't remember if I gave Darwin that spell. I'm pretty sure I traded it out for something else, though. Let me check. Yeah, no, I have the Zone of Truth, not the tiny hut.
Ah, they're the same thing.
No. Oh. You wanna know something that you wanna know something that I forgot I did when I leveled up? Darwin has greater invisibility.
You could have used it.
Yeah, really could have.
Should have.
Should have, yeah. I forgot.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I also forgot that I now have 8th level spells thanks to being a old sorcerer boy. Oh, and because I'm cheeky, I got Fireball. And traded out some dumb shit that I had for no reason. So now I'm the perfect mix of a bard, support player, and a damage dealing sorcerer.
Alright. So, as you are all taking a long rest, we will first have you decide on what sorts of things you'd like to do during the long rest. And who will take watch, etc. Just attached into announcements now is something for possible things, though other ideas can also be suggested and worked out. In terms of listing off things that can be done that are considered light tasks, or whether or not they may prevent you from having a proper full sleep, etc. So you can take a watch, you can work on crafting something, cooking, preparing something, such as preparing
Carving ammunition and stuff.
ammunition, preparing spells, ability checks that you can add a preparation die to that might help later. Just simply a hard sleep, or working on a particular task like reading from a spell book, etc.
Anybody have a chicken?
Anybody have a what?
A chicken.
Chicken.
Um,
You know, so can summon Dantalion.
there isn't any chicken around. I don't know if anybody has anything that could perhaps summon one.
Yeah. You never know unless you ask.
Polymorph somebody into a chicken.
That is true. You just need the blood of the chicken, and once you kill the chicken, they'll revert back to their full HP. So anyone know polymorph?
Unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately.
Yes, my wizard knows it. He's not here.
But in terms of actions, though, Eon's going to be taking take a watch all 8 hours, or however long the long rest is, as he's falls on the living construct race type and does not require sleep.
Okay.
And he's basically gonna go statue mode with his shield and sword at the ready, essentially.
Okay.
Do Celestials and Fiends need rest?
Depends on the particular one.
Like,
Some of them...
I can't remember if we decided if Umbra would be treated like an elf or like a living construct.
Now, I'd assume sleep still feels pretty good, so I mean...
Well, like Warforged don't technically sleep; they just go inactive. They still hear and see. They just go into a power down mode.
Yeah.
But they can't get exhaustion from no sleep.
So Brooklyn. Then they're exhausted as hell.
Well, if he's making the thing invisible and nothing can come in, then I don't think we need to watch.
It's technically not invisible,
Yeah,
it's just
okay.
colored to the snow that's outside.
She has a trance like elves. They meditate deeply, remaining semi-conscious for 4 hours a day. You gain the same benefit that a human does from 8 hours of sleep.
Okay.
She'll spend 4 hours, well, 2 hours crafting, 2 hours with Linnell helping her with her thing, and then 4 hours doing the trance thing.
Okay.
And then Syl is gonna be... What does she have in her little bag of tricks?
Before we get to Syl, what is Lilith and Darwin doing?
That's a good question. What is Darwin doing?
Hitting on Lilith.
No, as a matter of fact.
He
Why
would
not?
be. He's a bard. He has to.
Well,
It's
the
in
thing
the
is,
job
there's one he's still...
description.
Remember what he said.
Don't you want to have a romance with yourself?
That's really weird, and I don't like myself like that. So,
Sure you don't.
oh. Besides, for those of you that remember, Darwin did say, if I'm making it through this, I'm asking, what is her name again? Where's my notebook? Where's Darwin's notebook?
Oh,
specifically?
this deer
Delaney.
school lady?
Yes.
Oh, right. Hey, you know what? You do you, bro.
Soul pain that's inside of him. Darwin's not a racist.
I'm just saying that
Don't care.
skullhead's a turnoff.
Cool. Love is about the heart, not about the body.
I
If you
guess I
talk
can
to
still have
Darwin
fun
enough,
with
you'd
her
know that's
body.
how he feels. Shush. Shut.
And if you were like a werewolf or something, you'd be all over that skull.
Is this jokes that Sill's making to Darwin about it?
Why not?
Darwin just kind of pinches the bridge of his nose and is just like, "Ah,
You're
you
not
always gotta
wrong."
make everything. You gotta make everything weird. Like, all
I'm
stuck
just
in this
telling the
dome, and
truth.
you're just. I don't think you are. It's kind of making it
just-
awkward.
Since when
Just
is
like
sex
to think
weird?
Well,
outside
no,
the
not
dome.
that. I'm talking about the whole
Most
skull thing with werewolves. That's kind of.
It doesn't have to be a werewolf. Anyone who likes, bones.
what's wrong with being a werewolf?
Archaeologists.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't go to that certain.
No, I'm just, Miranda
Touch.
is now speaking up. Like, what the fuck's wrong with being a werewolf?
Didn't say that I was wrong with being a werewolf.
No. You want to clarify what you meant?
Of being attracted to an individual while being a werewolf because of the fact they have bones. Strange.
What's strange?
It'd be like me being attracted to someone because they have a meal ready. That's no. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Miranda
Did I come from a
rules
different
to
upbringing?
seduce.
Darwin?
Yes.
Oh,
Seduce,
fuck.
seduce.
Is there a counter roll to this?
Insight? I don't know.
Wisdom.
So
Catch a disease.
specifically, Miranda is primarily a fae. And no matter who you are, her beauty is unmatched.
Well, for mortals.
Yeah, whatever.
Does Darwin care about beauty?
You have disadvantage against being charmed by me.
What?
Unless you're an elf.
No,
or an
straight up.
immortal.
I mean, I have a disadvantage to stop being charmed
Yes.
by you?
Yes. That's my otherworldly beauty trait.
Alright, so what am I rolling?
That's up to I don't know, Micah.
Okay. Charisma saving throw.
Charisma. Oh, you unlucky bastard. Oh.
What?
Oh, you unlucky bastard. I'm a bard. My charisma's my highest stat.
It's not as high as mine.
How high's yours?
22.
That's your bonus?
No. The bonus is 6. My charisma is 22.
Okay, because my bonus is 9.
What? Do you feed so many books into that thing? You can't.
So I have proficiency with that as a saving throw. My charisma is a saving throw. So I have a +4 just ace bonus
No.
from charisma because it's really high charisma.
No, yeah, 11's
That's it.
my throw.
Yeah, okay. That's what I figured. Okay. Just slightly confused, like, it's only 6? What?
Oh no, that's my charisma modifier.
What do I need to roll? Assuming rather. Well, let's just see where it goes. I'm probably gonna
Well-
fail it anyways.
I'm rolling on my persuasion.
I have
That's
the
a
feeling this does not
31.
beat it. I was about to say, I think 13 plus 9 probably does not beat it, because that's only 22.
Well, if we want to go performance, that's 38.
Performance in what? That's a very good question.
Belly dancing. Sill's just there eating the popcorn. Enjoying
I
the
think that would be
show.
more entertaining, distracting. putting charismatic skills to use rather than persuasion.
Yeah.
So, following up a persuasion, on the other hand, that's a
Good
different
question.
matter.
Lilith's just kind of sitting there, setting up a bed cot, and just kind of looks at her and is like, kind of wish I could dance like that.
So this was Darwin who was saying this, right?
Oh, that was Lilith who said, I kind of wish I could dance like that.
No. Darwin was the one I'm seducing because he's the one that said, "Oh, werewolves."
Yes.
Yeah.
Except that isn't what he exactly said, but sure.
So.
I mean, you're gonna make the 10-foot radius dome get really awkward real quick. I mean.
Yeah, she's a werewolf.
And?
I'm seducing you. I don't like the werewolves like that. What's wrong with the fucking werewolves?
It's not what he said. He said it's like he was like, why would a werewolf getting together with someone because they have bones make any sense?
So they
He
gave
was-
some. Hello.
I'm making fun of werewolves. Now I'm seducing you.
I'm not making fun of werewolves. I'm making fun of people who are making fun of werewolves. If anything, Syl was the one who was making fun of werewolves.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, if anything, Darwin's defending werewolves.
Whatever. I misheard and I'm still rolling with it.
Right?
Yeah.
I was just sitting
other
there like
people in
confused out of his
trouble.
mind, like, what do you mean? The one who was making fun of werewolves. That was just getting kind of confused, like kind of in that point where he's just kind of feel tired a
That's
little
why-
bit.
That's why you
Still
said
recovering from the sucking
charisma
chest wound, you know.
save.
Okay. And meanwhile, so what were you planning on doing to start out your camp actions?
She's just gonna be taking care of her weapons, sharpening them, and just, take first watch, and then while she's sharpening her weapons.
Technically speaking, still doesn't need to take a watch. Eon does have that under control.
Yeah, but she just met that guy, so
A good point, but he cannot lie.
She
She
doesn't
she
technically
know
doesn't know
He
that.
doesn't
Yeah.
know that.
She does not know anything about him.
Point.
She's not really
All
in a
you know
talking
is that he's
mood
8
either.
feet tall and he looks angry all the time. Looks like literally death. He has a really
What
big
color
shield.
is he?
So his dynasty patterns are a mixture of white and gold, signifying a form of royalty in a sense. So, like the main torso pieces, that type of deal. Also has a bit of a tattered cape matching the same colors and having several different letterings of the Necron language across it.
I'm going in the tower next time. I just realized there's a blizzard and the hut goes away. We get buried.
Well, the thing
Who
is
said you
that
can go in the tower? Like, no.
all I'm gonna say is you don't gotta worry about that.
Well, I mean,
I would like to point out
you'd get
there's
buried when it disappears. It still would keep its form because it's a dome, architecturally.
yeah.
Until
It'd be
you
an
try to
igloo.
start snuffling, shoveling yourself out, then it might collapse.
On top of that, though, the amount of people here that have things that could melt it is quite high. So yeah, just
Fireball.
I've got
Center it on
Agnazar's
yourself.
Scorcher. Just
Hey, you kill
oh, actually no, I
everything
don't have
too.
the Red Dragon scale though, so I can't use that. Never mind.
Okay. So
When is
who-
it not appropriate to use an 8-level fireball?
as you exit the dome, taking your watch. And see,
She has to
and
leave?
Because the dome is transparent on the inside, so you can see outwards.
We can see
But you don't need to leave in order to actually take watch.
all right.
Unless this was plot related. So she does leave.
No, it sounded like you were saying you were heading out to take first watch. You don't have to,
No.
but that's
It's
why.
cold out there. She's in a
I mean,
desert
it's
body
not
now.
it's not technically like the warmest inside, but a little bit of huddling and you'll be fine. I mean,
There's 9 people in here. We'll be warm enough. She
it
barely
sounds
has
like
any
Miranda's
room.
planning on huddling with a certain individual, so it's not like that matters.
Yep, I've already made that choice. It's too late now.
With Darwin, since you were seducing him.
That's how I'm using
Originally, I was joking about it because I thought that was going to happen with Lilith, but nope, other one, the other bard.
I'm a seductress rogue, thank you.
Okay. That does change that a tiny bit.
I basically, you could probably consider what I've been. What I spent my light activity.
I'm getting flashbacks to the very first session I joined in on, where it was just Miranda banging the counts.
And the Duchess.
It's a violin. I'm gonna go
That
become a
wizard.
concubine.
Yeah. You know.
That was your first episode?
That was my
Damn.
first session. That was my first session.
Long ago, man. Jeez.
No, that was back
Um,
before the semester started.
So, Yllenda moves up closer toward Syl as they are watching, taking first watch, glancing about for a moment. Everybody can make a perception check, except Silky.
Everyone except Syl?
Syl doesn't need to.
18. Well,
She could also go
Passive
talk in another
19.
language.
Lilith is taking her passive 22.
She could also write it in the journal that she selected her all
Okay.
time ago.
Eon's sitting at a 26. Oh, my lucky dice is coming in. Oh, love you. Let's see here.
Many people here know Infernal, right? Let's talk in Infernal.
I miss.
And Darwin's sitting with a 16. He's a little bit focused on Miranda at the moment, though, so I'm gonna take disadvantage on that. And yeah, he's not seeing shit. He is at a 9. Oh, 8 in perception.
So Miranda would hear that Yllenda is talking to Syl. What languages does she have?
I thought Yllenda could do
Common,
telepathy.
Sylvan, and
She has to have
Beast.
charmed somebody for that.
Oh.
You said common, Sylvan, and what was the other one?
Beast.
So Miranda would not understand, as she is first trying in Infernal, and Silkry did hear it and indicate, that she could understand.
I could connect them telepathically and hear one end of the conversation.
You could certainly attempt to do so, yes. She's just talking in Infernal to Syl and says, I do have the capability to polymorph, since you had mentioned it before, but I didn't want to bring it up. What did you have in mind? far as dealing with Dantalion.
I wanted a better belt.
She just rubs her forehead and then the bridge of her brow. Just like,
Oh, and see if where Count Strahd is. The one that that is good? Question mark.
clearly, he is more than willing to tell us half-truths and hints more than just outright saying whatever in the world is going on with his plans that he's kept from us. That thing with my sister, we don't know how long they've been there ahead of us. We don't know how much time has passed, but while it's possible to make that sort of statue with magic, it still takes a fair bit of time. And they certainly weren't married yet when we had left. So, and others were trying to escort people away from Castle Evan Peak, which we are headed toward at present. I understand we need to regroup, we need to plan, but I think we need more than just simply to see what happened. See whether or not it was purged or abandoned. You know, there may be things left behind that could be of use, but there's some reason that Dantalion took Strahd's soul, our Strahd. Some reason that he helped the alchemist to take his place, and some reason that my sister hasn't just simply revealed whatever has happened to the best of her understanding. Something more is going on here. I don't pretend to have a clue what. I'm not somebody who sees things like that. I occasionally hear a voice giving some advice, and there's just observing the world and such. I was learning things by traveling with everyone, and my most recent journey separate from everybody when, well, to be quite frank, everybody seemed to be going batshit insane and viciously evil, and voice encouraged me to do what I did, and that just simply led me to captivity and pain, and I don't know what other than just simply to encourage me to keep hanging on, that the voice was able to even do for me while I was captive. I don't know if it had any power that could have done anything or not, but you all are more trusted than any other than my sister. And I'm sorry that I went the way that I did. But we are marching back toward where we know two presences were corrupting those who stayed within their territory. I honestly don't imagine that we're going to simply convince whatever remains there to just leave us be while we plan and search for answers. I think we're going to need some more power, capabilities, and I don't know if Dantalion's plans need us to not know, and he actually has a purpose that will be beneficial for us in the end, despite how we'll hate our present circumstances, or if he's been stringing us all along. But Dantalion's not the only pact devil out there.
Here's a question, though. We agreed to help him slay that demon, right? After your sister got married. So, they're married. Do we have to go and fight that demon now?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if that was even a necessity. It could be it was just simply pledging to fight it, and a ruse where we would just distract from something else. I have no idea. It sounded like he was hating the Stakon and what it had done to them previously, and what it still was capable of doing. It seemed a force that
crap.
was something we need to face eventually anyways. But
I
I
had
don't feel
also
a tug to go somewhere else at present, so I don't think he's cashing in on that, at least.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't popped up here trying to claim my soul, because I did say I would join him after your sister got married to Count Strahd, so there's also that. And also, why would your sister and Strahd have their statues in your parents' land
Well,
unless they took over your parents' land?
such is the thing of nobility that sometimes those who are in power cede it to their offspring early. Take up more of an advisory role rather than direct responsibilities.
So you think maybe we should go to your parents' castle first?
I honestly have no idea. I just know that if we're going back to Ebon Peak, we need to be prepared for not having as many allies to back us up.
Also, that on the the point of your parents' castle, that beast monstrosity thing that what's her face, Miranda, just showed us. That thing was headed toward those statues. Is that the direction towards your family's castle?
Honestly, they are elsewhere in the valley, further to the north. So I don't think that it's likely that they would be in much danger unless they're visiting my sister.
Okay. So we got one option is polymorph one of the party members into a chicken so we can sacrifice them to Dantalion and get answers. Or half-truths that way. Second option is to take a 6-day journey to Ebon Peak and see what's happened there. Another option is just leaving this whole world behind and going someplace else. Do you even know where Jesse is?
That's a difficult thing to answer at present. What with everything that has happened, I can communicate with them, but that doesn't mean that I necessarily know where they're at unless they tell me.
Well,
I can feel the bond is still there, but I'm not getting any responses. I haven't since I ended up in the Shimmer in the first place. It's something that is intentionally blocking it. And it's not magic. It's something more and different, but that bond is innate to one such as I. It shouldn't be blocked in such a manner unless it's willful to prevent a mind from being affected. There are artifacts and tools, things that work to prevent possession or mind control and the like that could be interfering, but I don't know. It's been baffling to me ever since I went into the Shimmer and then something happened.
I guess we'll just have to talk about our options over in the morning with the rest of the party. I still really want to sacrifice a chicken. I think benevolence should be the one we sacrifice.
All this being
Also-
said in common right now, or is that still all in Infernal?
That's all in
All in Inferno.
Okay, I wanted to double check here, just because that was a long conversation.
Yes. That's why I was having everybody check first. Could you hear it at all? And then would you understand?
Gotcha.
It? Because
So y'all are
if
hearing
anybody
is-
seemed to be paying attention, she had other languages to switch to.
Some ungodly screeching going on. Oh god,
Yeah, think Klingon only with some parts going more guttural and some parts going more shrill.
That's disrupting our sleep.
Hmm?
I said that's disrupting our sleep.
This is during like the first short bit before people are actually sleeping.
Yeah,
And
This
because
is
the
not a
rest is
2-hour-long
they're talking
conversation.
quietly, even though it's, this odd sound.
Yeah. Then you've just got like, plus let's be honest, it's not like everyone else is dozing off anyways. You've got fucking whatever the hell's going on between Darwin and Miranda. I guarantee if Fennec and Benevolence were here, they'd be having a little bit of a conversation, possibly one of them cooking for the other or something like that. And on top of that, you got Lilith, who's just getting used to the group, kind of watching and having a little bit of a chuckle at the little bit of a group dynamic that's going on.
What else? So I was gonna ask, despite everything that's going on, how was she feeling?
You're asking Yllenda that?
Yes. Like, I know she took a beating. Does any part of her still hurt? Need healing?
Physically, I'm well enough, at least. I do have some of my own means of small bits of healing and the like, but it's more the mental aspect, the concept of being captured like that and plundering into it, even with the voices, instructions, and suggestions, which have greatly aided before, but I don't know. It's also strange. Ever since the sword itself was forged, the voice is more persistent and less passing out snippets of wisdom and parables and things of the sort. It's more pressing and prodding, trying to guide in a more direct manner. It's definitely still the same voice, but I don't know what that all means. Does it mean that the reforged sword is at such a danger that such actions need to be taken, or is the voice possibly part of the danger and just trying to make sure that I don't know, succumb to whatever its plans are? There's certainly more that I've gained power-wise since I started hearing the voice. Even before, the sword was more than just the dagger, but it's shifting so much.
Well, if you ever just feel like talking, I'll always be here.
Yes, well, even that is in flux a bit, isn't it? After all, you put in your resignation. I think it's certainly been approved by now with how long it's been.
Well, yeah, that means I don't have to be with Strahd. You and, an extent, Jesse and I, we can do our own adventuring, try to solve the issue with the sword.
I almost wish that damned cultist had not found us and just simply
Jesus fuck
disappeared
is
with
her.
the piece of the shattered sword in their demiplane before, because although it would have meant not meeting all of you and such friends and meeting Jesse and everything, there's so much that we've seen and just survived, fled from, things that we dragged from one place to another. And the voice says that we're steadily making things better, safer, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like it.
It does not feel like it
It,
at
it feels
all.
like
Hey,
all of our
Micah.
attempts we've just simply left. Left things, left people, left populations.
How's
ahead.
that sword with the wish abilities on it?
It is not presently recharged for that.
Good, because I was just thinking about the way that she had phrased that.
Oh, I know.
I'm, yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah, it's just a turn of phrase that she didn't even think of, but thankfully had no consequences.
Like, I know that the minor one is probably up. What, that's once a week? The major one's probably not.
I wish. Oh no.
Plus, she said,
That's-
I almost wish, which doesn't mean that you do. It means that you are considering it.
Let's try to be more careful with the I wish phrasing.
If only fixing all of this was as easy as the past wishes that were used, and of course, even they didn't fix everything. You know, there were other dangers that were faced near where the Trask had been laid dormant, and there's certainly whatever danger that is in eternal clockwork that is still there that we left and allowed to stay loose. Well, I suppose allowed isn't the same as
Couldn't stop it if we wanted to.
well, I was going to say didn't feel confident in it, but yeah, to that extent.
Well,
Go ahead.
whatever happens, I'll see it through to the end. Because you and Jesse are some of my closest friends I've ever had.
Even though you've tried to kill Jesse multiple times over.
Especially because of that. And they're still alive, so they are very hardy, and you like them, so there's something good about them, I suppose.
Well, they let me be me and are open about whom, what they are. And it's not like before I had met my sister, where I was training to be a courtesan, and all of the intricacies of attempting to blend in and to entice and seduce without being caught in a state that would prove too difficult for whoever the client would be. Something that would make me be just discarded. I'm glad that I met my sister, and I'm glad that I met Jesse and you and the others. It's just... it's hard to stay optimistic with everything that we've been gone through.
That's an understatement. I'm glad that I met you and Jesse, even though everything was fine until the rest of your party arrived. Though I guess it wasn't all fine, because some of the problems were already happening behind the scenes, so just weren't paying attention to. Like that giant Ugh, if I hadn't known about that, would have nipped it in the bud.
Yeah, well, the next danger could be right under your feet or around the corner. Well, I think I will tuck in and discuss things with the others. But it was good to get things off my chest about all of this without having to worry about interjections.
Yeah, me too.
Good night, Sal.
A show. Yep.
Don't jinx it like that.
Yeah, I don't think anything else bad's gonna happen.
Well, it depends on your definition of bad, because there might be something bad happening here inside the dome quite soon.
I don't know what you're talking about. Only good things are happening in this dome.
Meanwhile, Umbra has their own private little tower, essentially. It's like, yeah, I don't feel like much for socializing.
Well, she has Linnell with her. That's all that matters. For right
Yeah.
now.
And then you've got the dome that's sort of giant metal skeleton man, giant stone man, the personification of beauty, the personification of why the hell am I here, ranger, and stab, and then fox, and that's the dome.
Her name is Miss Stabbity. Stab stab.
It's not Stabatha?
Nope.
Stabathon.
Demantha?
So,
You could probably take a guess who the personification of why am I here is.
quite a few might fit that.
There
Yeah,
are
good
a
point.
few.
So,
Benevolence.
with that, I think we will wrap up the session for night, unless there's something else that somebody would like to do quickly. And next session we can have those who were not present fill in their camp actions and other things.
Sounds good. Think of anything else Lilith, Darwin, or you Eon would be doing. Darwin's just sitting there trying to process the whole situation he's gotten himself into due to a misunderstanding. Lilith's laughing at the show. Eon's the robot who watches, and that's it.
That's creepy.
He is the guardian. He is the protector. I mean, it's literally in the name, the Varguard. So.
Alright, well, hopefully next week everything will go well, and we'll have everybody who's been here and more, and we will see where things go from there.
Quotation mark.